Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're going to head back out at midnight and do some hunting. And what we're going to hunt is werewolves, because I think that's what's going on in the midnight hunt, is that people are ambushing the werewolves. Like, the werewolves think they're going out and going to bag some game, but they don't realize they're the game. Yeah. Werewolves can win. I don't think they're like a 0-win, but I certainly got destroyed trying to be them early, and we've all now come to understand that really the best deck, quite cleanly and clearly, is blue-black zombies, and we're still in the phase of figuring out if the format can self-adjust to that or not. We're going to pop into this traditional queue here, see how fast it fills. I'll hop to draft view when we do, but... yeah, I have continuing to just kind of lean Esper. I like starting black or blue especially, because then you can take the black-blue seat if the table will give it, and sometimes the table does, and you got to be there for that. And yeah, wolves do punish stumbles. That's something I forgot about from the kind of the original Innistrad werewolf situation, where you sometimes your opening hand, if you know, like, we're best of 3, if we know we're against werewolves and we don't have something at every spot in the curve, it can be dangerous. If you want safety, though, you're gonna do your card shopping at cardkingdom.com, my sponsor. They have everything you need for your tabletop Magic game, whether it's single supplies or sealed product. You can find it all there at excellent prices, incredible shipping time, and of course, if you're looking to flip it back into credit or cash, nothing better than the CK buy list. Except my buy list in my store, if you want to check out what I'm slinging, you can visit my store and see. I've been making big inventory pushes every weekend, so the inventory is climbing. Sometimes I have oddly high prices on something. That usually just means I'm using my store to store a card for my own inventory, and I don't expect to sell it. But hey, if you want to pay that price, that's cool. You can also reach out to me if you see a bunch of stuff in my store that you think is interesting and just want to contact me on Discord. We can arrange something too. Our friend Professor Wright, who is one of our memesters around here, just put in a big order on the site that I got to fill for him today. Slaughter Specialist. I've had this played against me, and it seemed pretty powerful. I'll speak to that question in after the draft here. Yeah, it's felt powerful, but like anytime you're giving your opponent something, it feels questionable. Like I think I'd rather have the Horde or the Awakener. So that's where I'm leaning at this point. How much time we got? 12 seconds. Don't usually start on 5s, but you all are right that this is maybe the best card. It might just be the straight best card in this pack. I'll take it. Let's start there. This is how we end up in zombies. And then there's a Midnight Ambush, which I think is the best card in the pack, narrowly over Falcon Abomination, Search Party Captain, and then Frenzy and Liberator are fine, but not in the colors we're happy to be in. I like the Abomination a lot too, but there's just no reason not to take the Ambush as a follow-up to the Horde, with it being the only black card in the pack. Now, Ecstatic Awakener or Siege Zombie. That's an interesting one. What do you think? It's definitely one of those. I'm not taking a third color or second color here when I have excellent black cards still left. We have the Horde. I mean, Horde helps them both. Media likes the Awakener. I am narrowly on Awakener as well. especially with this with the horde start. Although again, this works with both. It's super close. Awakeners wheel more. It's, I don't know. I see a lot of weird stuff wheeling. Neither would super surprise me, but neither would I expect either. I wouldn't expect either one either. Yeah, we'll take revenge. I'm somewhat wondering if we should lean to another color pair here, but we're just taking the best card in every pack, and what do you know? We're ending up black-blue. Now we're at a place where the black or blue card, probably not the best card in the pack, but we should commit. So we can take a No Way Out or a Geist Wave. Yeah, I think I like a first Geist Wave over a No Way Out, but I don't mind playing one of these. Evolving Wilds over third color. Oh, we can take a Trapper. I don't like the blue 1/4. It doesn't do that much. Late Ants being called. Yeah, this is fine. We could take it even over a Wilds, but I think it's Trapper or Wilds. You want to spec on the Ants? Or the Tapper? I'm going to take the Wilds. I'm going to take Sure Play. I like casting my spells. More Trapper. There's a duel for dominance. Interloper is playable, not exciting. It does help cut our colors. Yeah, well, this is medium and this is medium. Neither of these make me think, ooh, green. This makes me think, ooh, white more than anything else. And if I take a white card, I would take the Trapper over the Candle Trap. Funny. I'm going to take this Trap over that Trap. I'm going to take a black card. I'm really... it's looking like this lane has some good stuff for us, but is not wide open. So I really want to fight for it, honestly. And here, yeah, consider versus these two. Shady Traveler #1 might be better with no 3s yet. Hedge turn. I'm not going to hedge to a card that is so specific when I can get a generic playable in the color that I know I am. Shady Traveler isn't bad. It isn't good. I mean, we're just talking shades, Fenor. I mean, I've got the consensus top 5 player on my side that Shady Traveler is fine in blue-black from someone who's played the color pair into the ground. Yeah, I'm going to continue to take... Yeah, like... We could take a Griff, but... No, I'm going to... Yeah, I'll take it. I tried to take... I'll take this one. We might end up in white, it's true, but... Because we only have the Revenge and the Geist. We're definitely black, though. So I'm going to also take hedge even red here. We might end up red. I don't like too many interlopers. They don't block. I don't know if you've noticed that. They don't block. I find myself using interlopers mostly to sacrifice to things like Awakeners when I don't have a token. Interesting pack here for us. A lot of good black. The uncommon is a 2-for-1, but really so is this Awakener. I kind of just want another Awakener. Hobbling Zombie, Novice Occultist would be fine things to enable the Awakener. Yeah, Awakener is just so good, right? It's easy to see this is this 1/1 for 1. It's really a 4/4 for 4 that draws a card when it enters. You know, like, I know it's not exactly, but if you're producing a bunch of fodder, it really is quite good. And that's what we're trying to do here. So let's take it. Flip the Switch is one reason that Luis felt that Shady Traveler was a totally fine playable in the deck, because you can pass with flip the switch up to flip it. I don't know we're taking it here. We're taking Organ Hoarder. I'm just I wanted to speak to that aspect of the Traveler, since a lot of people correctly are saying this is not a great card. It's not, but we got it in the teen. You know, it was like one of the later cards we picked up, so no big deal. A lot of great stuff here. What are we going to wheel? Like, this is, I almost want to screenshot this and see what this pack looks like on the way back, because there's just a lot of blue-black here. So I think how much is left is going to tell us how many people were fighting. That being said, I've now fought my way to the point where I'm not giving up on it. I mean, I can cut this Griff. We're gonna fight tooth and nail for the blue-black lane. That on that front, here we are again with another chance at a collector. But you can see that I've reserved the zombie. It's a lower in the curve. It produces a decayed token. We've got 2 Awakeners now. And this just doesn't often... It's not a guaranteed trigger. If this just said 3/4 flying ETB Oppo discards a card, I think it would be the pick. But since it's not guaranteed, it's just better to take a 3-drop that you know exactly what you're getting and can expect it. All right, the lane is opening for us here. Seems like we did it. Yeah, there's some red-white going around for sure, but whatever, I'm not even seeing it at this point. It's about Intruder versus Cobble. I've had some good success with Cobble, but probably just Intruder, right? Yeah, Pablo thinks it's Intruder, so does Tron. Anybody else want Cobble here? Just because, yeah, I think it's right. We'll take... You know, Luis also called this one of the candidates for Mythic Uncommon. Dissipate here is not, is arguably, you know, the double blue is a thing. But again, I like a counterspell in here. It helps support things like Shady Traveler as not being as bad. We could also take the Crawl. Like, I don't want no Crawls. Yeah. I'm with Rob and Tron. I wouldn't mind counterspells in here, but Crawl is so on plan. And also I would at this point run 2 of these in a deck like this. It's with the double Awakener. If you got a couple of Crawls, you start to be able to sack things to the Awakener other than zombie tokens in a pinch, which is nice. And an Awakener still here, pick 6 is great. Especially with nothing much for us. Oh no, this is a different one. I thought that was an angel creature. It depends on what else I've got going. Again, these Awakeners allowing... Crawl feels like it allows me to go ahead and sack something to the Awakener that I might not otherwise. Nothing for us. Delver does not play in this deck. We could, and we're never playing this, right? I don't even remember what this does anymore. Yeah, let's take a rare. We do that around here, right? Rare draft, gems, baby. Build that collection. All right, here we go. I like a Castaway in this type of deck with the triple Ecstatic Awakener. One of the problems with this card is getting it into your graveyard if you draw it. And even if your opponent is not attacking with big stuff on the ground. So we take it here and then have nice ways to get it dead. And this is looking real nice now. 16 nice picks late pack 2, and then picking up an Occultist to go with these Awakeners. Now we have a couple of ways to go Awakener into 2-drop that we want to sacrifice into flip Awakener. I really just like another Geist wave here over a Firmament Sage. This is the one. This is the Flip the Switch, Organ Hoarder, and Eaten Alive and Siege Zombie all taken out of that pack. And I will take a Behemoth here. I've played Sage. I've even flipped it. It just but now you see that I don't care about it. It's like, yeah, sometimes you can squeeze a couple of cards out of it, but it's a real uphill battle to get a Divination, you know? Amalgam, we're going to hope not to play, but I don't mind playing this in any deck where that has graveyard value. Just sometimes you're going to flip into stuff, and it's not the 5 you're looking for. You just want Diagraph Hordes, but you can't always get bottomless Diagraph Hordes. Dreadhound is going to be fine. I almost want another Castaway, but this might wheel if nobody else has anything going on to get rid of it. It can. It's I've fallen on it a little bit just because of it's got the problem in the format of being a 6-mana 6/6. So often your opponent has much cheaper answers for it. But if they don't, you tend to win. And sometimes you just play it and win before they can answer it. So we're going to take it, but I'm acknowledging that it's not the end-all, be-all. It has some points where it is less effective than you want it to be. Siege Zombie here is a fine pickup. Maybe we will consider, or even a Rotten Reunion, which I'm coming up on when you have things like the Trips Awakener. And this is another, like Luis pointed this out to me, I didn't really think it through. I just made some presumptions because it's not a reading stream and I stopped reading cards after like the first day. But Rotten Reunion doesn't need a target. So if what your deck needs is fodder, this is 2 pieces of fodder for 1 card, which if you can turn back into near full cards, you know, can be justified. But of course, we want the Siege Zombie. Don't you take that, Ridge? Hey, another Horde. Great. If this Occultist would like to swing around for the wheel, that would be quite welcome. But another Diagraph Horde kind of chef's kisses the deck. Second Crawl. I don't like the Necro Synthesis, although in this type of deck, maybe I could make it work because I'm a little bit more in control of when stuff dies. I just don't like auras that reward stuff dying unless you are in complete control of creature death that way. You like the Larder Zombie? Yeah, I guess I've come up on this. It's true. This is fine. And maybe first Larder Zombie is better than second Crawl. But if this were first Crawl, I would take it. So yeah, we'll take the Zombie. I agree. It's unassuming looking, but does some stuff. And we'll take another one over No Way Out number 1. 17-5, we could take a No Way Out. But 2 of them, yeah, I'll take it. Because also, again, if the Larder Zombie is not doing its thing, we've got 3 Awakeners to make value out of it. So I'll take another one and probably play it. Angler being another thing for the Awakeners. So these Awakeners are getting great if we can find one for our first turn. Corpse Cobble. Sure, get in the mix. We'll figure it out. Like that means we can start cutting this the weaker end of our deck here. All this blue, none of it I'm excited by. Cover Up is the loosest maybe play. I'll take that. I don't want that removal. Arrogant Outlaw number 1 over Amalgam number 2. We'll see what we end up playing. And again, I can take this Sage and try it again, though. It just doesn't really tussle well. I mean, a 2/3 is a real card, but not in the late game. And it just feels too hard to extract value out of that uncommon. Well, we had to fight for our lane, and I think we have a good deck, but we don't have a lot of elbow room. Got a cut or 2. kind of wish I had that second crawl. But would I rather have 2 larder zombies and a crawl, or 2 crawls and a larder? Kind of want 2 crawls given the makeup of this deck as it sits with the 18-6 split. Like, anyway, but we will figure out what to cut. Probably our worst creature, which is either, let's see, Shady Traveler is a candidate, Behemoth is a candidate, Interloper is a candidate now that we have a lot of 2s that, and the larder zombies we have an early game. Let me do it this way. I think we probably keep the Interloper on the strength of it being a 2. And I want 17 here with the Dreadhound and Hoarders and Flashback, you know, Awakener Flips being more of a 4 situation in terms of its mana use. So I think I like this, and then it's just what card are we adding? Really, you'd cut one of these? We're so low on interaction at the end that I liked having 2, and, you know, weaving back your Hoarder, or even an Awakener that they're trying to kill, and then you go through that whole sequence again. I hear you, though. You don't want 2, but you don't mind increasing your chances of guaranteed 1, you know. But I can. I wanted to pull it, but maybe I just won't even pull it, and I'll just figure it out. Really? You've never used Wave on your own card? I've done it many times. Did you know, Jim, if you do that, you draw a card? Sweet. I've just had some opportunities where I've held it up with some other instance, and then when they go to kill my thing, I just save it and draw an extra card. Anyway, what would I add to this? Not adding any of these artifacts, so I'm going to cut them from view. Cover Up is actually kind of interesting as an include. One piece of hard counter that actually that can refill some action in the late game. I don't like this card draw. I think it's too clunky. I'd rather our card draw is Ecstatic Awakeners, Oregon Hoarders, and rebuying them with Cellar and 1 or 2 Geist Waves, depending on how this plays. Yeah, so we can bring in an outlaw, or so let's say we said creature. Which of these do we like the best? It might be the Behemoth with the amount of expendables we have, but we're not exactly pumping out the zombies here. And we have the Awakener asking for a lot of that attention. So maybe it's Traveler or Outlaw. And I do like Traveler a little bit better. I mean, this is just Born to Die. This is Born to become a very difficult to block 4/4. That's better for what our deck is trying to do, or even an Amalgam that at least says 3 unblockable in the late game. Yeah, I disagree, Fenor, that it's much better. This has 1 mode. It does not often, especially with this type of deck, if we're going larger zombies, you know, it doesn't, we're not necessarily even doing the damage. This is just too often for me a 3/2 for 3 full stop. And this is a 2/3 menace for 3. Blocks the dumb tokens. It doesn't trade with decay tokens, although we rarely block decay tokens because it's usually like Blade Brand and stuff. Anyway, I disagree. At the very least, I disagree with the take that it is much better. I might be wrong that this is when I think that this is better, but I think you're wrong to suggest that this is much better. This has downsides galore. Not really though. I don't know. The reason why this isn't good here is that we don't have a lot of great things to do at instant speed. Although Awakener trigger is one of them, and Revenge is one of them too. Like the 3 Awakeners and the Revenge do support the Traveler. So you know what? I'm gonna run it. Let's call it science, my biased science. I kind of like, I'm hesitant to say I like it. I like it as the 23rd card in this deck for for those reasons. So I'm going to run it. I get the downsides. I get the arguments for this. I get the arguments for all the other stuff. But this is my deck. I'm going to try it. It's all science anyway, right? At the end of the day. Science test. Or shady science. Maybe that's too... There we go. Lands... What do we get, Mama? Avon Unhinged. Twist my arm for my favorite lands ever. All right. I like it. Let's see how it goes. It's just best of 3 too, so we can sideboard away the Traveler and try other stuff for science as well. On the play with an unkeepable hand. I suppose if you showed me an island and a swamp on the top of the deck, I could keep this, but nah. Sorry. All right, this works. We'll go Awakener into Larder Zombie into probably sack Larder Zombie to make a 4/4, unless we come up with a better play than Larder Zombie to do that with. See you, Jim. Thanks for hanging. Let's see. We do have the double black of the Dreadhound. Do we have any double blue to consider? Nope. So let's go ahead and ditch an island. And wake up. Revenge. Don't love the open mana. Let's see, are they representing any pausing here? Not really. We're going for it. Needed that land anyway. Really wanted to dig for land number 4. Now we have Revenge to clear blockers. Yeah, this was from a one of those secret lair drops, and somebody donated the code from their secret lair drop to our stream since we have some rat theming going on. Yeah, we're sending this. I mean, I guess we can attack. We don't want to let it be nighttime, even though nighttime does have some benefit for us. We don't want the werewolf deck to have it. It's more beneficial for them. But we can revenge, and then I also like that if they let it go night, we can day it up with a crawl and larder zombie turn. Yeah, they might though, right? They could let it go tonight and then kill our 4/4, and they're not in that bad shape. That's the kind of thing I was thinking might happen. As it is, we get to crack back in with our demon, and then really just drop the larder zombie. We could crawl and get the other one and start lardering, but that doesn't seem like the most powerful thing to do with these cards. I will play the larder zombie, but keep it from going night here. Really, we want a basic land to allow the horde next turn. That's true, it is a 2/4 larder, which is not too bad. This is interesting. Blob is really annoying. We're going to have to try to fly over it or Dreadhound it, but we're missing our land here. Start making them chump, and unfortunately they're not going to, like, we can't get any sneaky intruder value here. But we will send in the demon. And intrude. This isn't a zombie. If it was a zombie, I would play it now. Instead, again, if I don't do it now or something now, it flips to night. And I could crawl back the larder zombie, make this a 2/4, and then it does block better, although it doesn't have good blocks because of the activated ability here. Mainly, I want to get this in the air, and I guess I don't want them to kill it. Yeah, we can make the token a 3/3. We should make the larder zombie a 2/4, which seems better, I think. Yeah. Wait, what's Scry's? Oh, this one. Yeah, so that's true. But we get that. We're gonna cast the intruder. The only question is whether I'm casting crawl this turn. I think I will. And I'm gonna do this. We're getting in the air. This has flash. It's just the question is whether or not I'm casting the crawl before or flashing this in main phase and saving the crawl. That was really the choice there. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to scry. That was just a screw up on my part. They let it go night. We can switch it back to day at least and mitigate that much. I'm going to send in everything but the... well, we're not sending in the token or the thing that can't attack, but we send the 4/4 and the 2/1 and offer up the trade here. And then probably just Loper Zombie and try to get there with flyers. Oh yeah, they can pump the wolf, never mind. Thanks for that. So we'll just send the flyer and try to win off flyers and 2-spell it here and flip it back to day. And here's your, I'm missing your night and day. We'll give you night now and I'll give you the day one next. Two flyers. I'll remember my zombies this time, and we make it day again. So I think that was a good turn after a little stumble on my part. Might as well larder the things that can't block and are going to die. And we want that, so we're going to decline to put that in the graveyard. I want to make these horde tokens. So they have the blockers on the ground for the token. We can't send these. They have Defender. So we send our flyers and then Horde after combat. No reach. 3 cards, a lot of mana. We'll see if they got anything for it. No, so that's pretty positive for us. There's white Wraths. I'm trying to remember the Wraths of the format. There's the black one, but it doesn't work the turn it enters, right? Or am I thinking of the other format? I don't even know anymore. We're just going to do this. Burn down the house. Right. Burn down the house could happen. Nice to clear anything out of their yard for the blob. Suffice it to say they're up against it and pretty much need the burn down. BBX, right, there is that Masker one. Maybe I'm thinking of the other one that had, yeah, it was the Forgotten Realms that had the ETB tapped Wrath, right? The Artifact Wrath, I think. All right. Werewolves. What do we like against werewolves? Anything? Reunion not getting much out of their yard. Amalgam at 6 toughness is a pretty big butt for werewolves for 5 mana. We might just be naturally advantaged enough that we don't have to do much, but fundamentally werewolves are just bigger stuff on the ground, and we don't have a lot of the tools available to this color pair to really punish them. We've got a lot of bounce, and there's something to be said for that. But we could, so what I'm thinking is, do we want to bring in, you know, the Behemoth or the Amalgam to get some tushies out here over some, like maybe cut a Shady Traveler, and although, again, it at least gives us something that works for our nighttime. Yeah, maybe I just run this back. I don't... So do you want it in? What do you want it in for, Mike? This is on my short list to bring in this situation. But I'm not sure what to cut. Interloper. Go a little bit down on our 2-drop aggro and just get a little bit of tough end. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, the flyers seemed good because they didn't show us reach, but the second they show us reach, which you figure they have, maybe they don't. I don't know if there's maybe werewolves don't have a lot of reach. All right, I'm going to run it back, but Interloper, I'm going to keep my eye on you and ask myself if I don't wish you were a behemoth in this matchup. Close. A lot of thinking to do nothing, but at least we did the thinking. Reach, the keyword. Reach, aka something to make me feel very silly about a 2/1 flyer that can't block. No creature action here, but enough. I like the fact that we have our mana and we filter it out of our deck along the way. So I'm going to keep this and hope we draw into more action than we see currently. what? My opponent's playing this? Now I gotta read what this does. You can sack to exile up to one target card from a graveyard and draw a card. Okay, so they're just trying to get one of our graveyard value cards and draw off of it. Is that... I don't... maybe against graveyard decks you can bring this in. That's not embarrassing, but it doesn't feel great. Is it fixing? I guess. Yeah, I don't think... I bet they sideboarded this in because of our graveyard shenanigans. That's my guess. All right, enough with the lands now, deck. This will be fine for quite a while. All right. We have listening issues, deck. I see this. Well, it's a weird one-shot mana fixer that if you're trying to splash one spell... I mean, a lot has to be lining up for this to be a spell you want to run, but it looks like, yeah, they're trying to do some fixing here. Like, not reading in general, or did I miss something specific today? Usually the Magic gods are very immediately punitive, not just generally punitive. Awakener, all right. Get out there. Now if they go to kill the Awakener, I will absolutely wave it back to hand. If they are splashing red and have their one mountain in hand, that could be why they didn't get it. Oh, thanks, Prof. I forget that we have one for this. Probably just use this as removal, use all our mana, and kill the 4/4. They're going to get another one later, but we hope to find our own value engines to make up for that lack of, you know, the effective future 2-for-1 here. Oh, that's right. They were red-green, right? So where's their red? Did they just pivot? Yeah, I see what you're all saying now. Did they just switch to Golgari? I don't know. Weird. You expect that in sealed, but not in draft, where you just don't generally have the room to make big pivots like Oppo is kind of doing. Boo Earns really hitting some flood here that we didn't want to see. We don't have anything to do with all this mana. 29 doesn't look like an over 40. Yeah, it's really a narrow spell when it comes down to it. I think you run it, but it's super narrow. We just have so many zombies that, like, taking 3 zombie tokens and making a 6/6 that can just attack. I mean, it is good when you pull it off, but it's a bit strikeout home run in its narrowness. Well, the lack of action certainly predictable. Flood is just variance. I was actually pretty well protected against Flood, given that we had effectively 5 of our lands out of the deck on 4 cards, on 4 land cards. We've drawn an unusual amount of land since we made that choice. But certainly signed up for potentially needing to interact before finding action. But here we go. We're going to find action. It's all going to be fine right here. Boom. So, do I wish this was an amalgam or a, you know, the 7/6? Not really. This is fine. I can at least sack it to the Awakener and draw a card. The trouble is Awakener just dies to the Death Toucher, so we got to consider that. But I'm going to hold now. There's no... Because it just dies to the Death Toucher, I'm not going to attack, and I'll think about whether or not and when we activate the ability from here. Leaves up Corpse Cobble. Although they can't really do much about it. See, well, now we got... now neither of our creatures are very good. The ground creature trades off for the Death Toucher, and the air creature trades off for the Reach. But we will continue to hold here and see what they want to do on their turn before we do anything. Yeah, it'd be a fine trade for the Wolf, you're right. Which makes me less inclined to want to trade it off to eat it for the Awakener. But we also have Crawl. Oh, that's interesting. Well, do we call? Oppo's playing some stuff like the Lantern and has a weird enough deck that makes me think maybe they didn't see it and we can just eat and eat. I'm going to go for it. Let's see what they do in response to flipping this here. See if there's a pause for one thing. Okay, there's a pause. So then I'm still, like, it's not this and it's not this. And the pause could be this anyway. I'm going to make them have it. Whatever. We either eat this or we trade for something in their hand. Either one seems fine with Crawl available. Because I was kind of erroneously looking for pauses. The trouble is the Jack-o'-lantern was going to create pauses no matter what, so I didn't learn anything from the pauses. Cut Purse. Find it tough for the Cut Purse to work. They got there this time. If I play the Traveler, they have reasons to not attack. But if I wait and intrude, there's no day-night going right now. Yeah, Lantern is going to try and get the Crawl. So maybe there's a time where we can wait and try to get it when their shield's down and get two creatures back right away. I don't care anyway, because right now what I'm not looking to Crawl and give them that opening. I'm going to I'm only deciding whether to play the Traveler ahead of playing the Intruder, or just go Intruder. And I bet they still attack with a zombie. I'm going to play the Traveler because I still think they might attack with a zombie and we can still Intruder to get the blowout. What I want them to do is attack so that we can Intruder blowout. What I don't want is for the Traveler to encourage them to do no attacks, making the Intruder just a 2/1 flyer for 3, basically. Hey, great. That's what we wanted. And again, I like doing this now to figure out if there's anything we need to be aware of before declaring blocks. There's basically, you can either do this before blocks to understand if you want to get more information before deciding to block. What? We can't with the Lantern out. Oh, yeah, with the pauses. Anyway, or you wait till after blocks so that if there is shenanigans, you still have the block happen. But in this case, we're at 18. I'm going to do it now to check the scene before we make our blocks, basically. Good sideboard from Oppo. We beat Oppo with flyers, so they brought in plummets. That's sensible magic. Looks like we get our target, though. And again, flooding a bit. And again, Crawl doesn't quite do what we want, although we can target something with the Crawl, and when they kind of counter it, we do get the second Crawl. And that might be worth it here, although perhaps not more so than just flipping this to Knight. Although we do get an attack here, I'm going to do that. See you, Robert. Thanks for hanging. Yeah, we could flip tonight. I kind of am in for getting some action on here. Right, they can exile one, but this has two. So for 5 mana, we can do it twice. The first one they stop, and the second one they can't, or they let the first one happen if they see what's coming and think it's a weak enough creature that they give us the first one and take the second. But we could, you know, try to get the Intruder, and when they thwart that, get the Awakener instead. And then the Awakener, well, the Awakener doesn't have great sacks, though, so maybe we try and get the Awakener and then get the Intruder instead. Yeah, you know, see what I'm saying? I think I'm going to do that. Well, that's true. If they tap out for Beast, it just gives us the... Well, are they? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If they draw a land, they don't... It might be worth making them do it, though. Interesting choices. All right, we'll let it flip. Since we get the benefit of the Traveler flipping, I'm in for seeing if they tap out here. Because if they tap out, then we can get it all done. And then we get a Corpse Cobble here, which I'll go ahead and take. We just replace it with itself. So it's like counter target defenestrate, basically. And this can't flip back to a 2/3, so there's that as well. Blocks this turn. They might go for the Lantern on the Cobble just to get the value card out of our graveyard. Yeah, they went right for it. The second we had some flashback, they went for it, which is great, because now Crawl is all freed up. Yeah, this is a zombie, not a demon or a werewolf, so we get to actually put the counter somewhere. All in all told, that our sequencing has worked out great for us. Now on 8 mana, we can get a Interloper for pressure, but we really want to play the Horde and the Crawl. Cast what to fizzle the card draw? Oh, cast it, but then, yeah, I could have recast it, I suppose. That's fair. But what card? Yeah. But I think they would have done it. Let's see. It still would have happened. They still would have drawn a card, I think. I don't think that stops the card draw, but I like the idea, but maybe I don't. Maybe one of us doesn't understand the rules of how that interaction works. It would fizzle? Okay. I didn't understand then. Anyway, back to this. Let's start with Crawl on... I'm going to get the Intruder and target this here zombie. And then that gives us more attacking power right now. Could have done it again even, but I want the Horde out. And now we can get, because, see, I did forget, by the way. Oh yeah, right, this extra value. Right, totally knew I was getting this extra value. I don't care about the pumpkin. They can have mana. I want to take the actual spells out of their hand. Spells out of their graveyard, actually, but virtually in their hand. All right. Now they do have blocks here. I think we just send let's recur our Awakener and make the Horde bigger. Yeah, I guess I could have waited and recurred this. I just like getting this bigger now, because then what do they do? And we have the intruder to shrink. Yeah, now they have no blocks, and we didn't even need the intruder in that way. I'm gonna go Awakener now, and although let's see, we could wait, and then we don't flip it to oh, it's already day, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, let's do it. We had to hold Awakener for a flip or intrude, either way. Oh, just conscious of day, night, and where we want it, and if it matters. In this case, it didn't. Ultimately didn't matter because I couldn't affect things anyway. But just always checking in to see if that's something I should think about. So with this Death Touch Flyer, we're going to hold on to the intruder until it blocks. Which means we're going to awaken off of a zombie token here. And I do actually owe you another Awakener meme. Speaking of memes. And not sending the 2/2 zombie yet, although it's close. They've got 3 blockers. Actually, I guess I send everything. If they want to spend any of their blocks on the zombie, we're happy about that, right? So let's do that. Louis says, basically, don't attack with these unless it's lethal. It's not quite lethal, but it's close enough that I am attacking with it. 3/3/2/4, tapped out. Yeah, we'll do Intruder on the Death Touch, which means we 1-for-1 over here, but that's still fine. And we'll take out the 3/3 that can really affect the board and flip into something bigger over the 2/4 that's kind of just stuck as a 2/4. 4, the toughness is real, but we'll do that. And just save our horde. And we'll go... Zombie can't attack, so we'll just go Occultist at Hobbling Zombie, since this one can't attack next turn. You like the Scry? Sure. I just like... Which one? Well, it's a token, but yeah, maybe I got attached to my live creature, or I got attached to the idea of intruding the Death Toucher. I think I probably just married that idea, Media. You know, you get a plan in your head, and then you stick to the plan, and then you realize later you had other plans, but often another mistake I'd make, though, is changing plans midstream and then completely cocking everything up because none of it works. So yeah, Larder Zombie versus Occultist is somewhat interesting. Occultist can attack, but Larder Zombie improves our draw at a time where it probably doesn't matter. I think we just want the Occultist to have an extra attacker. Yeah, they knew about the Intruder, but they made me choose to save one or the other, right? Like, I couldn't save both, and they were in a spot where they didn't have choices on playing around it. And, as Medi observes, they did get me to make a mistake, so maybe it'll pay for them. Only 2 blockers, so I think this is still ours. The 3/3, these, oh, now Hound just says not even close. It's over. Let's see. Yeah, how'd Oppo end up with that specific deck? I'm not sure. But 1 to the good here in best of 3 land. Deck functioned pretty good. We had some rough variants, but still won against, but, you know, the one of the weaker color pairs and opponent playing some stuff I raised an eyebrow at. But hey, I would have raised an eyebrow at me for 2 larger zombies, so who knows. We're going to keep this. Yeah, I just didn't. I didn't think they were super playable, but we didn't quite understand how many spare bodies we'd be making. They don't quite get better in multiples, though. I sure would like to trade this for almost any spell in our deck. I mean, they're not useless in multiples. You still got 1/3 blockers. It's just that the second one is literally a 1/3 defender for 3 with no text. Lambbolt Harrier. Well, we're going to zombie it up and start larding. Lard harder. Scry harder. Bounce, spell. Since I kind of need land anyway for a horde on 5, and since the wave isn't really doing much for us here, I'm going to take the action and put that in the graveyard. Tron keeps it. I'm going to ditch it just because we're not at 5 land yet, and we want to curve out to horde. And and I don't want to bounce anything I have or anything Oppo has right now. I could offer the zombie. That feels wrong. I'm just going to play the castaway and hold up ambush. Yeah, sure. I mean, it would be nice, but we can't bounce it till we cast it, so I'm just trying to make sure we cast it on time. Got a bunch of stuff I want to sack to Awakeners. We just need some Awakeners. Yeah, I don't see you using ambush on a 2/2 that we have completely subdued with our current board. Ambush as an instant even takes down bigger stuff. They attack with a 4/4, you make it a 2/2, and you block with your 2 1/3s, you know, that kind of thing. We're pretty light on interaction, so you generally, when you're light on interaction, you want to save it for premium targets. If we were heavy on interaction, I might just do it because, like, well, we're bottomless removal, so might as well, you know? I want to cast the Horde, but I'm going to decline because that gives us an attack. We make like we're offering a trade. They're going to take it. That's fine as well. Kids can sleep through anything, and in the weirdest, like, you just see a kid fall asleep in what looks like a position you would use to try and extract information out of a antagonistic actor. Like, you're how you know, there's beds and stuff, like. I like ambushing the flyer and then sending another attack, sending the zombie in again. Make it seem like this is what we drew. Oop, and then do this. I remembered, shut up. Ooh, we're going to decline, and then we have the Horde if they don't fall for the intruder play. We can also wait and just do the intruder later. Yeah, I'll do that. I bet we get him with the intruder later. I'm just gonna go for the... Well, I don't know. We have the attack. If they don't, I'm gonna do it. Sure, why not? If they block, it's good. And they haven't shown themselves to want to block anyway, so this is fine. We'll get rid of non-lands out of their yard. Double surveil available. Oh, and in exile. I was like, didn't we get some of the stuff out? Oh, yes, but it still counts exile. Powerful when the spells deck does that. Decline. We likes it. I'm going to send in, though, and be willing to use the Intruder instead of the Awakener here, but my plan is to awaken the Castaway at some point, but I'm willing to intrude here if they give us the blocks. You like sending the 2/2 zombies? Or these zombies? I don't want to send these yet, but I like sending these two. Oppo doesn't trust us at all, which is fair, but it means we get to keep all of our options available. We can Awakener at instant speed or Intruder at instant speed. And if they're tapping out for this, that's great. All these channelers, but where is the burn? I don't have Oppo's best interest at heart, is very true. I'm going to keep trying to use the Intruder as a gotcha. And yeah, I think you're right. Let's Surveil and then Awaken. Actually, wait, it doesn't. This one. Ooh, we could take the action and just give us a graveyard play. I think that's probably fine, but also it's fine to just cast this twice. I mean, this is a good draw as well. I'm going to just decline and draw it. I think it's a good draw. Oh, really? Yeah, that's right. I forgot. Well, good thing it's a spell in the graveyard then, huh? I thought I was drawing it because I was drawing it here, but we mill first. Magic's hard. There's so much going on. So they were waiting for that one, but this is so fine. We still draw the card. If we didn't draw the card here, I would be way more hesitant about doing like the end of turn Awakener and stuff, but we still draw it, and we got to crawl to get it back with. And we will take that action. Well, now we could crawl the doggy that we found the 6th mana, but we don't even need to do that yet. Although we could, it puts a counter here. Like, what are we trying to, how are we trying to win? I guess we are trying to win via doggy, so let's cellar up Doggo over... Well, we could also play the flyer, though. Maybe we play the flyer first. We could Horde Exile the flashback, but I don't even think it's that big a deal. They make another 3/3? Like, oh well. Why are we attacking first? Because I was thinking we wouldn't be attacking, but I guess we can still send Horde and Zombie. It does keep getting bigger over time, it's true, but I'm also thinking we're going to win through the air. It doesn't, actually. That's the thing, we were talking about that. I read some of the cards, not all of them, but I got you on some of them. Yeah, we still do have the Geist trick, so let's do that. He's talking about this. He's saying, get rid of this, and he's saying, get rid of the things that are powering it up. But this says, in graveyard plus exile, so it doesn't actually change things to exile, is my point. Oh, it only counts flashback cards. Wait, what? What? Oh, flashback. I didn't read. I should give myself a reading meme, but I gotta focus on this or I'm gonna lose the game. But insert reading meme here. This stupid game is too hard. What a crazy card. That's like, now I don't like the design of this card. That is weird. I wonder what stuff... I mean, in general, when I don't understand why a designer has done something, I figure that I haven't figured it out yet. Not that they're just absolutely wrong. But it's a confusing way to make that card function. Another one. I still like our spot. We're just going to try and win in the air here. With them at 8, they can make a bunch of... They trample. That's pretty scary. Yeah, it's probably just a power level thing that made them land at an awkward spot. I think it's awkward. Yeah, we could get back Dog, but honestly, Awakener Castaway seems better. I'd have to think about it. Again, I just don't have the mind space to do a design dive on these choices here while I'm trying to win this Magic game. I should have sent the 3/4 as well. I'm just getting nervous about the token size down there, but I think this is fine. Yeah, actually, what are you thinking, Mike? Because, like, anyway, we get to shuffle. We want... What do we want to draw? We want to draw removal. Wouldn't mind drawing an Awakener. And interaction in general. Yeah. Now we're looking good for potential go-wide attack, although these don't attack, so our current attack contingent is 7. 5 on the ground. One of them can get big. Right now they have 4 ground blockers. We're going to make a 5th, though, so chances are we're only attacking with flyers because we won't be able to quite get there. But maybe with a crawl on a zombie we can. We'll see. Just counting the blockers, like we have 5 in the air that is, and we have 5 in the air and they have 5 on the ground. We attack with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they just have 5 blockers for our 5 ground attackers, is what I'm saying. Yeah, they're going to kill the intruder. They're still way up against it. But amassing an army. What does this do with the counters? Okay, it helps play extra cards. That's fine. I just didn't want it to do extra damage. Still so many things to read in this set. Occultist. I mean, it's a reasonable sack to the Awakener, but I don't know if we want it. I think we want more powerful stuff, since we can do it again. Definitely binning that. Another Awakener. All right, so now lots on the ground. I'm going to send in the Castigator and play the Horde and the Awakener and just try to get there next turn. Yeah, so we can shrink the tokens. I guess let's shrink the tokens, see what that looks like, sure. They can be shrunk pre, right? Like, I mean, I think we just want to do it now. So we take the Rush, right? Because I'm going to read this card. It says, instant storage cards in your graveyard, plus the number of cards with flashback you in an exile. So definitely the Rush. And then the trouble is this won't change the power, but we get one of their castable spells gone. So one changes the power, one is just an extra resource gone. But then that does open up attacks, right? We don't have Awakener. We're just sending the Castigator. We can send this, and they have force blocks. This, and they have force blocks. But I don't know if it's better than just holding all until a big swing next turn when these are not summoning sick, right? So I think we just wait. And try to use our width next turn rather than sending anything else here. Could lose to the rare sweeper. Should we be playing around that? Because I could hold, but yeah, burn down the house. Really, if they have burned down the house, we're pretty screwed. But yeah, they're dead on board anyway, so we should hold. That's right. I just think if they have burned down the house, we're probably going to lose the game, but why take the probably and make it more likely? You think I lose more often by not playing it? Interesting, Media. Oh. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. With Crawl and an Awakener, that's actually a plan for post-Wrath. But they need to answer more than a couple. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 attackers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 attackers with them at 3. They must deal with the flyer. And then look at that. There you go. So let's go. Ooh. We'll decline and we'll keep that. Ooh, they're sending. We might even be able to win. Let's see, for probably not though. You like hold it and see if they attack? Yeah, it's an instant. That's true. We can play this though. Dead to zombie. What do you mean? Oh yeah, I can't bounce and crawl though. I already did that math. So let's go Awakener and Revenge Bounce. If they started at 17, they'd be dead. That's kind of what we wanted. I'm going to do this now, though. Yeah, they do have another seize, though, so it's not like we're done here. Hopefully this is them going crap. I'm dead, but we don't know yet. Let's see. 3 attackers gets through 1 biggie. If that's what they've got, we're okay. All right, I think we're just good then. I'm gonna full control it. But they have 2 cards in mana, so we're not necessarily just good. We have to see. I didn't want to crawl first. I don't know. Maybe I was supposed to crawl first. I feel like either this works or we don't. And 12 minutes on clock, noted. I had to play quick. I didn't feel like crawl mattered, whereas the ambush did. I just left it. Yeah, and if they block Awakener and kill Zombie, I guess we lose. But if we had put a counter on one, I guess, yeah, maybe one counter on one Zombie plays around. Okay, so now we have to... Of course they had to have it. God damn. Now, to be fair, they looked at a zillion cards. No, Crawl doesn't do anything. They just block the other one. What do you mean? So we... Yeah, no, I guess... But then they do it differently, right? Crawl did matter? Oh, well. I didn't think it mattered, right? But now they have to block here is the point. I think is what chat is making, because we would have 2 lethal threats and they could only block 1. Did I play land yet? Did we have the mana to do it all? That's what matters. I don't remember if we did. Yeah, we didn't have a land, so it actually didn't matter, gang. We didn't have the mana to do all that. Well, gonna be tough for me to win 2 and 5, but we'll try. I thought I went to second main. Maybe I quit still in combat, not sure. But yeah, also the land didn't show up till the draw anyway, so it's not like we had a land to play pre. Bring in Graveyard Hate. It's not the worst idea, since they're riding a lot on these stupid elemental tokens. Can't believe that. What we want is more bounce, but we're already doing all of that. Do we want this in, is the question. If we did, what would it be for? Maybe the Corpse Cobble? Although Corpse Cobble in response to the Sweeper is a heck of a play, honestly. I think we need this in because of the Sweeper. So then... maybe second Larder Zombie? I mean, I liked it, but second has been very bad. Yeah, Tron and I on the same page there. I'm going to do that. What? What do you mean, Rob? One of us is wrong. I hope it's not me. I think I did the thought. If we'd had Corpse Cobble in response to that Sweeper, we would have won the game. So I don't know what you mean. Can keep this. Exactly. I mean, you don't need much.
Consider this. Consider this.
Finally remembered that one. Yeah, because I keep forgetting to play it. And here, you get this one. And memes within memes. Hand is pretty lacking here. I'm willing to take this chump just to look for more to do than what our hand is currently showing. Trouble is we're going to draw an Awakener and wish we had something to sacrifice. But yeah, this works. Now we can let it go Knight, have the Ambush and the Intruder. This doesn't flip into anything. It's a pause. That makes me think this is going to get slashed. But still makes them use removal. Oh, I guess they could activate, but still makes them use up their whole turn, question mark? This is not great, but fine. That they use their whole turn on that. We get zombie, and it gets to stay nighttime. I'm not going to replay the meme, but there's a Consider. Consider seems like a great card for Oppo. They're looking for their power spells and filling the yard for spells in the yard matter stuff. Well, hard to hate red doing something useful in this format. So I'm not liking our chances given the value that Oppo is generating and the floody side of the draw we're getting here, but oh darn it. I missed something. Set an alarm and missed my alarm. Blocking here. I don't know. Dang it. I know I screwed up. This is a different game experience, but I screwed it up. Dang it! All that work and I screwed it up. Sorry, I'm already kind of. I think this game is gonna be done. And now I'm just super tilted about something else completely. I can't believe you, Ryan. You set your alarm and you didn't frickin' hear it. Tilted about something chat doesn't even care about or know about. It's not worth explaining. It's just another game I'm tilted at. I'm not going to spend the ambush on the Ardent. You're close. It's close enough. Except it's a thing that I've been working towards for 2 weeks. I've spent 2 weeks trying to be in 20th place and slid to 21st place because I stopped paying attention because I missed my freaking alarm. All right, Awakener, save us. Let's see what we got. More mana. If I weren't going to lose on clock, I'd play the Flood meme. We need a time meme. Except the trouble is I should never play it, because if I should play a time meme, I should be playing. Why not send the 2/2 zombie first? Oh, because I'm barely paying attention to this game now. Interesting. They're not saying no blocks. Probably means they've got a 3 damage to finish off the demon, but we got to make him have it. Not much else to do. Pump? Am I missing pump? I mean, they might have pump in hand, but there's not on-board pump. Yeah, if they had hand pump, that would have made Olivia's ambush good. But that's what I thought it was, just a slash. Okay, now you can have a stupid flood meme. Are you kidding me? Thanks, Deck. And when we draw the other land, next turn, we'll second part the meme and then scoop. Wave to the Elementalist. Well, we can send this back. Sending this back is a bad idea. If I am sending this back, I should do it now before it gets unsick. And we're going to... Careful, baby. That's something I... when people start talking about that, I start banning them. So people drop in and say the word rigged, and they get snap banned. I mean, it's above board rigged. Every way in which it's rigged, they've told us about. I could bounce this. We don't even need to do it now. Like, we have so much mana that there's nothing we draw where we're going to be like, oh, now we can't do both. So I'm actually just going to draw first. But even though it's like 99%, we're going to use it on this elemental. Yeah, even asking for a dialogue, though, just seems like feeding. I don't know. Like, that's the weird thing about diving in here and ban baiting on a topic that I'm happy to engage in. Like, why would you come here and ban bait? I guess that's the thing. It just seems like an attention thing because, like, I'm totally willing to discuss the topic. Let's talk about whether or not Wizards is... amorally or immorally greedy with their economic systems on Arena. It's a legit topic. You don't need to be a troll about it. We can talk about it. But oh well. Yeah, sorry. I'm kind of just going through the motions here because I don't even think we can win this game. I'm not really worried about the next one.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
See, I have a heart, like... Even Luis is, like... I guess if historic is economized in a predatory way, I don't really care. Just don't frickin' play historic. I just find it hard to call a game predatory that I haven't paid a dime for in 3 years of nonstop play. I think it's still interesting because maximizing profit, it does, I mean, there's manipulating human psychology in immoral ways to maximize profit is worth a discussion, you know? All right, we're dead. Good job with the red deck, Oppo. And I agree with what Hat just said as well. You really want to call Arena predatory? Have you played what else is out there? Have you played the game I'm just pissed off at because the game has plateaus where rewards are given to 1st through 10th, 11th through 20th, 21st through 30th, and I was trying to be 20th, which is the perfect spot to optimize your reward, and all I needed to do was a minute before the deadline do a couple of things that would push me to 20th, and instead I missed my alarm and let the deadline lapse and finished 21st, which is what was so tilting for me because it's the opposite of optimal. It's optimal suboptimal. Like 21st is literal the worst spot to land on. If I was going to be 21st, I may as well have been 30th and banked a lot more resources. Gah. Oh well, let's try to win our second match here. Get some gems, shall we? We just got worked in that one. I had mistakes that could have got us the first game, though. So, it's really on me that we didn't see game 3. I don't think we had a chance in game 2. This is a good keep, though. Wish this larder zombie were an awakener. Missed alarm buddies, Dave. High five. Well, none of this matters against this, so we're going to play the interloper, at least it attacks. Yeah, when Saffron Olive, who I love, but when Saffron Olive is complaining about how much it costs him to play Arena, I'm like, I don't know what you want, man. How much magic options do you want for free, or what? I don't know. Like, you know. Or I was even on a podcast where we were talking about it, and the podcast hosts who like Historic kind of said, I feel like for $50 a month, we should be able to keep up with Historic. And I'm like, what does that even mean, though? Like, Historic is a collection of Magic cards that are legal to play, that can be as huge as you want it to be. Why is some flat fee? Why should some flat amount be enough to keep up with every deck in an entire format? I mean, you could just go subscription model at that point, but as long as you have a collectible game, I don't think of it in terms of how much should it cost for me to have 100% of the options in this format. That's not the right question. The question is, how much should an average deck in this format cost me? If I want to shell out cash for a deck on Arena right now, what is an appropriate cost? Saying there's some sort of an appropriate cost to have all of a format doesn't make sense to me. We'll double spell here. Need our Awakeners. They're kind of the key to this deck. We have so much sack fodder that if we don't find our Awakeners, it can feel a little underwhelming. And I think, you know, as someone who opted against the dusting system when designing the early economy of this game, I still stand by it. And dusting isn't the solution people think it is, because if you incorporated dusting, you would also remove the value provided by wildcards. Basically, the value would shift around. Dusting just shifts the value. It doesn't actually increase the value with the way Wizards would do it. Yeah, I think Wizards could make it all more palatable if they had more, even 24-hour windows where you didn't need cards, like free, you know, historic, you know, come up with some clever name, and it's basically Historic Dabbling Day, where you get to play Historic and everybody has all the cards. So then you get to explore what deck you actually want to craft. So interesting here, if we need to like pile on everything. If we piled on everything, they get to choose one thing to die. Well, they get 4 damage to throw around, so they could kill an angler and a zombie. Just trying to decide if we actually want to block here or not. But yeah, we can also just block to make the flyer. I think that makes sense, Tron, since we don't know what we don't have a play for next turn anyway currently. So I'm with you. Getting this thing to die is part of the problem of the card. I was just basically trying to see if we also want to try and kill it, but if we do something to kill it, we don't get this dead. So I'm with you. But like, any fix to the system you have that's like, well, if they did this, things would be cheaper. It's like, yeah, it's not a challenge for folks at Wizards to figure out how to make things cheaper. If they wanted to make things cheaper, they absolutely could. That's easy. Hey, there's an Awakener. I was just talking about how much I wanted one of these, but I actually have a thing to do that's even better right now. I think we just make a 3/4 flyer. They don't have blocks, although an Awakener would be a 1-for-1 trade of a double striking Morning Patrol. But so would a Castaway. Really, I'm just gonna make the flyer, keep flying. Yeah, thanks. I might have forgotten a larger scry there. That's totally in my range. And, oh, this is us shuffling back in. Sure, we'd like to draw either of these, so I'm going to submit them for reshuffle. But I don't, like, setting a stop doesn't matter, because it already stops. It's whether or not I remember it or not. It already stops. I mean, maybe doing it just will help me remember more, because I did set a stop and that plants into my brain more, but this doesn't change mechanically what occurs. I guess maybe it'll stop a couple times through this phase. Maybe it'll give me an extra chance, like one extra click to realize what I've done. And no other attacks and no reach, so sending in. I'm in one of those headspaces now where I'm less interested in the game that's happening and more interested in the conversations that are happening, so it's making me play some extra loose Magic here. Let me try and tighten up, pay attention. Yeah, the Vault's weird. It's just a way to deal with duplicate protection outside of the rare and mythic slot where gems aren't appropriate. Like, I suppose you could start putting gold, you know, give people gold for their spare on commons and uncommons and just skip the vault entirely and start feeding people gold for it. That's not unreasonable, Hat, because what is the vault doing besides confusing people? At least if you gave gold, some nominal tiny amount of gold per common or uncommon, you would... It feels so bad, but if you're heavy Coven, it's not the worst. That's what I mean. I think if this didn't have the Coven requirement, it would be fine. We'd have a installment plan 4-mana exile removal. It's just that it's not guaranteed exile removal often enough. Here, though, we get to at least block with that. And then, do we want to trade another for air? I could block with the Angler and get up in the air more. But I think we just take 4. I'm with Tron's line. See, it didn't matter. I just actually remembered. But the fact that it was stopped didn't matter. Right, that's what I was acknowledging. That the act of doing something that doesn't matter might matter because of the way the brain works, but within the game, mechanically less important. Hey, we have one of these, remember? Love it. Let's use that now. Although I could Awakener, get value out of the Castigator before we lose it to the Candle Trap. Should probably do that. I got excited about the Oregon Hoarder, but I feel like I said Oregon. The Oregon Trail Hoarder, no. Block with it first? No, the second we... Well, I don't want to play that game. I just like doing it shields down. I suppose we could have done the thing where we make them act before I act. Or I just didn't want to mess with it. It's just like, let's do it. Maybe that's lazy on my part. Well, this can't block, and I'd be happy to trade for the Gale Drifter, so I'm sending. Seems like I've had double Larder every game we've had both Larders in the deck. I think I want to just change the deck to be single Larder. The double Larder draw is just not the best. No, Larder 2. Larder exactly the same amount. That's the problem. Yeah, I was lazy, I agree. Sometimes I take lazy mental shortcuts while streaming too, because it's all too much. Whatever. Occultist with no sack outlets. We're gonna put that in the yard. Might draw land, but would rather try to find something. Because we're looking pretty dead to the air here. Now do we need to awaken, look for crawl so that we can get a flyer that's exiled back? Nah, that doesn't work either. I think we're pretty doomed. Sack Angler, make flyer. I guess we can... We don't have enough mana, though. That requires 6, right? Yeah. Nice try, though. So then, is there anything we can get for 1 mana out of our deck through the Hoarder? No, we could get a... Yeah, it's true that we might draw the land that then makes it all happen. I think that's our only choice, really. Or we're just dead, so I guess that's all we got. I'm gonna... we have a line. Let's do it. Oh wait, that's not the line though. This is the blue creature I'm looking for. Sorry, just looked the wrong one. So now we need a land, and then we can create a blocker, but we swung and missed. I'm gonna give him credit on attacking. Yep. I like that we found a line to not die. We just didn't hit it. Lot of graveyard action here with all these disturbed creatures, so I think we can justify bringing in a Rotten Reunion. And maybe Corpse Cobble is what we can cut here. I like keeping it before in the face of a sweeper, but in this case, I think we just swap it for the Cobble. And I want the 1 zombie. That's another thing we could do. What do I want for it? Behemoth. I could put the Cobble back in, but again, I just don't feel like it's the best here. It's not how... They're not interacting with our stuff as much that way. So yeah, if they're not interacting with our stuff very well, let's take the Behemoth. Maybe we just didn't see their interaction, but this is a reasonable add. Well, our luck hasn't been very good with this deck, and we didn't get the nuts blue-black or anything. I think... but maybe that's just a sign that it can be self-correcting, that if people aren't getting nuts blue-black decks anymore, we can compete. Yeah, cover up also reasonable. Can keep this. Currently nothing super effective to do on 2, but maybe we'll find something. Oppo on the Mole. I mean, we just haven't gotten, like, I mean, an Awakener into a sacrificable 2-drop into sacrifice on 3 is something this deck seems like it ought to be able to do. We got 3 Awakeners, we got 4 things we're willing to sack on 2. We just... Where are the cards? Where are they? Larder, you're so late. We're gonna go Shady T now for the straight block. Larder, Hoarder, and then Larder, Hobbling, and then Hoard next turn. We get to start surveilling as well. You also get this. Could probably attack, and they might not even want to block with their Graph Keeper, but I'm going to say no and wait till we're 4-4. Another one of those. Yeah. What you waiting for, Oppo? What you got in there? What do you think this pause is? Ooh, we are not going to put that in our yard. Even if we don't use it quite yet. We're going to draw it, hoard, and then have some fodder for it after. Mending makes some sense. Would explain pausing but without interacting. And let's see, mostly they've been doing the creature interaction. Unfortunately, they don't have any of their sweet disturb cards for us to get, but I wasn't not going to play this Horde on curve when we got an Awakener to feed. Yeah, that's fair, Mike. I just got excited. I did my got too excited thing. I'm not on my game today, really. I think I'm looking a little bit too past the game and I'm just a little going through the motion-y today. Sorry. Yeah, good call. We can Geist Wave it back for some serious value. Yeah, we'll keep a couple. Giving them... We're not going to give them the old... I like the idea of Geist waving eventually, but... I'm going to go double Awakener. We have Awakener and Wave up. And yeah, I could send a bunch. I don't want to lose the Horde because I want to do the Geist Wave on it. But we could send the others if we're willing to sack. I don't think I want to do that. I'm going to be conservative here and not attack and just awaken a token at the end of their turn or wave if we need to. Because one thing that's going to happen here is we awaken one, we can awaken the other, have big attacks, and if we draw a land off of our natural draw or two Awakener draws, then we have Awakener on our turn with... Oh, actually, we have it anyway. We don't even need the mana. So yeah, I like that a lot. Although, I'm not sure... Yeah, 3 cards and mana open. Let's see what they're up to. Again, I'm doing this because it's pretty safe. Worst case, we still draw the card. So even if they want to interact with this... we draw the card. And I should have done this before drawing anything, since I could have avoided drawing this island, but we'll take this action. Yeah, should have larded first, but we'll do it now. Go ahead and play the land. I can awaken mid-combat. And now with the wave up, I like a much bigger attack. This is going to get sacked. This, I want to bounce anyway. This, I want to trade. This, do your worst. Go full control mode, though, in case we are... Well, I guess we're going to sack before damage anyway, because 2 + 1 is not greater than 4. So I can take it off full control, actually. Although, again, we're in a bunch of open mana here, which makes me nervous, but the Geist Wave also feels pretty good. All right, I like this a lot. We're accepting all of this except for we want to sack the token first. And I don't want to sack anything being blocked because I want the blocked creatures to do their damage. Do I bounce a 2/3? We could. No, obviously not. I really like the idea of waving back the horde and getting our value that way. And to that end, I can say no angler, especially since if they do have a wrath, it could be rough. So I'm going to save the Geist Wave for end of turn, Horde bounce, and we'll undo some of their disturb on our next turn. No use of their 5 mana, despite lots of pausing, so I'm not sure what that's about. You could probably look up the instance and list on and probably come up with some candidates. I'll block. Seriously? Wow. All right. Brutal. Not the plan. Not the plan at all. So now the question is the plan bouncing the horde as previously intended? Probably, because I'm still swinging in with the stuff and I'm hoping they block here, and I'm not going to send in the horde, so I'm doing it. It's a little telegraphed because of this, but I'm in for it. Rob says do it next turn. Too late! I took my line. We'll see what they do. It's a lot of aggression still coming at them. It's tough to just ignore this. I guess since I did have cast it replay on a land, it would have been fine to do it that way. I like this too, though, because this is what I figured. They still got to do a lot of blocking, and we get our choice now. All right. We've got the Morning Patrol, 2-1 Vigilance flying versus Graph Keepers 3-1. Yeah, we'll eat the 3-1s over the 2-1s. And we'll angle. The only real consideration is that these are vigilant and can block anything, so they're much better blockers than the flying only. But that being said, I think it was the correct choice, but that was the consideration. Ooh. Now we'll keep that, because we can take out one of their... It's effectively killing a spell and adding to our board. And it'll get something else later, too. They can cast this, though, so we do need to cast it before the end of our turn, but I'm going to start with the Hoarder. I should think about attacks. This is my leak. I do stuff before thinking about attacks. 3 toughness means we don't really have them, so let's keep going. I like lardering end of turn. You could make that case, though. We could wave the Horde. Yeah, that's pretty good, huh? We could also wave the Savior and crash in for 1 million. Is wave non-land permanent? We could wave the Candle Trap and just get in. Interesting choice. What do you think? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 is not going to be lethal with blocks. There is a crawl in the deck somewhere. We could just get a behemoth. Yeah, wave does just give us another draw as well. Okay, let's do it. And we get Rotten Reunion. I'm just going to fire this off on the patrol before they can do anything about it. And then I can wait till they put mana into this. If they can, we just do it at end of turn. So I'm going to leave this out right now. Rob says jam. I think we're a 1 turn at least off from jamming. Yeah, my timer's bad again. Ah, me in best of 3. Sorry, gang. Well, they can't respond to wave now. But yeah, I'm not playing tight today, gang. I'm sorry. Just one of those days. Some days are better than others. And they never at any point had Coven, which is another good point. Although they did when this entered, right? Like in this moment that this entered, there was their moment of Coven. But if they had, in their moment of Coven, attempted to sack the Horde, that's when I would have waved anyway. All right, let's start by larding. Ooh, we're gonna decline that and keep it. And then wave our horde. Want to get this thing out of their yard for one thing. Let's see. Reunion almost kills. What do you mean? It doesn't have haste, though. But we can certainly send in... Yeah. Ambush the 3/2. But what I like is that Ambush shrinks this to a 1/1. Yeah. All right. Well, let's do this. This is fine. Can't attack with the hoarder. Oh, with this hoarder, yeah. Sorry, I thought horde. They are gonna eat something, but this is gonna be worth it. After taking out their disturb options. Could even intrude. This is not my fault. This is... I can't watch the timer when I'm watching animations. And Angler is nice here. But I think I only send the Horde for now. Like, if I send these, one gets eaten and one gets... So I guess I get to 3. Yeah, we'll swing all. Sorry. The question is whether it's worth getting him to 3. And then the Horde is kind of a must chump, but they have 2 cards. We'll see what they got in their cards. Yeah, if they go for double blocks, we flash in, and we could, but they're blocking the stuff that dies anyway, so that's fine. Five, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just looking at what we're casting here. All right, that's pretty fine. We just redo. They're buying some clock. That's not the worst for them. I'm gonna use Intruder here. Larder. We've virtually drawn 1,000,000 cards off the larder this game, so there's that. And then now we can hoard up a zombie. I don't even know what we're getting yet, but we're definitely doing this. And I'm going to get an organ hoarder back. put a counter here. I know it could be Behemoth. I'm trying to play fast, figuring out that it almost doesn't really matter as long as I'm doing the thing. And then that looks pretty darn for us. Leave poor Mike alone, baby. Oppo hanging in there, but we're draining him of options steadily, steadily. And I'll go with the flyer since they don't have any anything to get back. Yeah, I could EOT the token. How about Siege Zombie, Occultist, Hoarder, triple, double ping, style point win. All right, 4 minutes to win. I guess we're going aggro, but the deck is as aggro as it gets. I mean, I can bring in an outlaw, I suppose, for like the Behemoth. This is a little more aggro. Could make a case for cutting the Defender when we need to be aggro. Jack-o'-lantern, it's going to get a card for a, you know, it's not awful. It's just, it feels kind of weak to spend a card on getting rid of half of their card. But I mean, we get the card back. It's just, it's clunk. It maybe is playable here though, given what we're facing. It's also not very aggressive, and that's what I'm trying to be. So I think I like this. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, that's actually, I did mean to cut the larder. I like cutting the Defender, and either for an Amalgam or a Behemoth. I'll go Behemoth. That can get aggro. Blood Pact is an interesting call, Rob, because certainly you can use that to finish off an opponent. But we'll see. All right. Now leave me alone so I can try to not lose on clock. It's your fault, chat. Fully blame you. And keep this. All right, found some more land. That's good. We want... I'll do Castaway here, given the size of this, but maybe I'm supposed to be Siege Zombie. Really looks like we're just kind of trying to get on board and find our way through. I gotta play so fast, I don't really get to think about stuff, honestly. 2 spell next turn would be nice if we can Zombie Wave or Clock if we find the land. If we don't find the land, we could be in big trouble. We really need a land off the top here. That's going to be tough to win through, regardless of how powerful we think it is. It's powerful when you've got an opponent trying to race their own clock. And that kind of ends the game almost. I'm going to pass the turn, get to nighttime here, and have the Midnight Ambush available, but I kind of need to use this on their turn on the Wrangler. So I'm going to try and like get out to a hot start and get Oppo, and suddenly I'm the one staring at 5 creatures. This is going terribly, and we are going to lose. I will block here, though. I don't know what else to do. They might just want to recast it. That's okay. I need to kill the Wrangler. That's the problem card here. I just don't even know what's happened to us. Like, Oppo's just wrecked us left and right. Who's aggro now, Ryan? You're not even coming close to enacting your game plan against this. Not even close. And they just never stop. Perfect 5 mana and then non-stop action. So you could give me 20 extra minutes on the clock, and I don't think we win this. They've just curved out too well. This is just too rough. Don't even know. I know I'm supposed to play fast, but I have to have a plan. I have no frickin' plan, and I can't not use mana or I'm just dead. So, I guess I'll take this out of the air. I know they get to replay it on the front side, but I just need it out of the air. Now I wish it were dead and I could actually get it, but we got to do this for no value. Hope that somehow Dreadhound gives us a random win out of nowhere. Double Siege, not the worst. If we weren't dead before, we're just getting deader as Oppo continues to cast stuff. Well, I'm going to go join Tron and quit this format. I've not been really having that much fun with it, whether I've been in the right deck or not. I don't know. I've had some fun games, but I don't know. I'm getting worn down too. As much as I embrace my own mistakes today, I've not played well today. I acknowledge that. But it's, as Tron says, just feels like things are just way out of your control in this format. And now we'll switch to night, bounce something. And then somehow have a miracle Dreadhound swing all next turn for the win. I don't know how, but somehow that's the plan. What's your plan? I don't know. Something magical happens and then we get out of this. Kind of take this and like really just bounce something else. We need to win next turn off of a Dreadhound attack. It's not going to happen, but again, I'm just saying, like, functionally this is our only option, so I'm doing it. Maybe I should have bounced the veteran to avoid some more life gain here. Yeah, in fact, I think I should now. It's the only chance anyway. We're just dead. I am casting legal magical spells. That's what's happening. Almost. Rotten Reunion getting a couple extra wide wouldn't Wouldn't be the worst. But here we are, deader than doornails, dead to the flyer, and now just swinging away. Hey, there we go, dead to the clock before dead to the flyers. Sus science indeed. Well, there you go. The clock didn't really matter. We just straight lost to not being as good as our opponent in that game and in that instance. Ugh. What a rough one. I don't know. I was playing like crap and not feeling very in control, even though you can't play like crap unless you're in control of something. So, I don't know. Whatever. We lost we lost 2 matches, which in best of 3 is the fundamental thing. But it's the friends we made along the way, right? All of those zombie friends. Bye, YouTube friends. Sorry for that rough result. Hope you had fun anyway. See ya.